Hey everyone, it's Makeda Valletta. I hope you all are doing well today. I'm just going to do a quick little talk. As a lot of you probably have seen my post from earlier today talking about the fitness industry. And I'm just going to talk about it a bit, about my background and my philosophy. It's really sad that the fitness industry really has no regulation. Like, if somebody wants to become a physical therapist, everybody has to go through the same process, get the same degrees, pass the same board exam. Same thing for nurses, same thing for doctors, same things for attorneys. But with personal training though, there's a gazillion personal training certifications, and a lot of them are not even respected by those in the field who know what they're doing. But there's so many people. This is the thing that bothers me. There are so many people that think because they look good, because they train themselves, just because you train yourself and you can make yourself look good, doesn't mean that you have enough knowledge and skills to work with other people. Okay. I see constantly online, I see trainers who post videos with bad technique. I see them training people with bad technique. For example, there are trainers who I know who I see them post a video of their clients working out with weight, and the client doesn't have good technique. And that so-called trainer will say, oh, well, they're working on it. But the thing is that you can't work on perfecting your technique when you're lifting weights. You have to perfect the technique before the weights, because if you lift with bad form and you're lifting weight, you can seriously injure yourself. You can injure your shoulders, you can injure your spine, you can injure your knees. And a lot of times, like shoulder injuries, the shoulder is the most unstable joint in the body. So if you get a shoulder injury, a lot of times it's nagging you for the rest of your life, and it can be very hard to strengthen again, and the shoulders will never really be the same. The spine, our spine is so important. You do not want a spinal injury, because a lot of times that is a lifelong nagging injury as well. And then our knees. Our knees are the most stressed joints in the body because they carry us around our entire life. And I just don't like the fact that everybody thinks they could be a trainer. You go to LA, everybody that's an actor is a trainer because they look good. And it's some halftime thing. It's just like with nursing. You have got to study. There's a lot of things to know if you want to work with people. You have to study kinesiology in depth. You have to study anatomy. You have to study exercise physiology. I mean, it's really, really important. And it really turns me off about this industry. So a lot of times, like, I just separate myself from the fit. When people tell me they're a trainer, that means nothing to me. Like, until I see what they're about, then it means nothing to me. And I don't even like saying I'm a personal trainer, because I feel like I'm so much smarter than most personal trainers. I'm actually a strength and conditioning specialist. So if you've never heard of that, you can look that up. It's a CSCS, certified by the NSCA, National Strength and Conditioning Association, right? The National Strength and Conditioning Association is the only organization that researches the efficiency of exercises in terms of function. Like, they do research, like, what are the best exercises to prevent ACL injuries? What are the best exercises to prevent hamstring tears? What are the best exercises for your balance? And I've never met a personal trainer who reads any of that research. Personal trainers, like, they'll be doing stuff like in the gym on a Busu ball, those balls that are cut in half. They'll be doing exercises on that, when so much research has shown that working with those things does not increase your balance, does not help you balance at all in real life. It just helps you balance better on that ball. So if your goal is to get better balance, that's not the way to do it. If your goal is to get stronger, that's not the way to do it, because when you're on an uneven surface like that, you can't lift your heaviest. So I don't know what the purpose is of doing that. So the fitness industry, they'll push a lot of exercises that are difficult, but they have no purpose and no point. And and then I see trainers who are supposed to be trainers, and they post videos with bad lifting technique. There is no excuse, zero excuse for bad lifting technique. There's a trainer I was speaking to yesterday who had a video out with bad lifting technique, and he said to me, oh, well, I like to cheat sometimes. And I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense. Because first of all, if you lift with incorrect technique, you're not going to get stronger. That's not how you increase your strength. You don't increase your strength by doing things with bad technique, period, point blank. Number two, you can seriously injure yourself. And if you haven't yet, it's only a matter of time. Lifting weights is not a contact sport. You should not get injured lifting weights. If you ever injure yourself lifting weights, it is 100% because you're doing it incorrectly, period. Okay? And then, if you're supposed to be a trainer and you have people watching you and people who are, coming to you for guidance and you're posting things with bad technique, I don't respect that at all. At all. Really, I don't. Because for me, I take what I'm doing very seriously. I never want to be responsible for someone injuring themselves, hurting themselves, eating something that, exacerbates their heart problem or their cancer or causes some problems. Never. So I take what I do very seriously. I spend years researching things, and not enough people in this field do that. The people in the fitness industry with the most clients are the ones that have a background in sales and marketing. I have consistently seen that since I started working at Equinox. And I worked at Equinox back in 2001. And I was working at New York Sports Club. And I saw so many trainers who would joke about how they didn't know what they were doing, but they knew how to sell. And people who are really passionate about training, who have a background in kinesiology and stuff like that, we're not salespeople. So a lot of times the smartest people in the field don't have the most clientele because we're not savvy with sales, okay? It's a business. Just like medicine, it's a business, okay? So people talk a lot about doctors and they down doctors and say, oh, doctors are only concerned with money. So are people in the fitness industry. You have to be very careful. So many trainers are like, every single trainer I know, you go to their page, all they have is garbage protein powders. They have all these, all this food that's supposed to be health food. Almost everything you think is health food is not health food. It's actually bad for you. You can't have imitation meat and stuff with canola oil in it and cereal. There's no such thing as a healthy cereal, period. And I can go on and on into very in-depth lectures about all these things. But I'm just saying that, this industry needs regulation, that personal trainers are not nutritionists and they are not qualified to give nutrition advice, okay? But every single last one of them does. So you yourself, if you're watching trainers or whatever, just know that they're not qualified to give nutrition advice. Just like making you a personal trainer doesn't mean that you can go be a massage therapist. You're not a massage therapist. And a massage therapist can't come and say, I'm going to train you. I'm a trainer now, unless they have those credentials. A nutritionist is not an herbalist. I'm a nutritionist, but I'm not an herbalist. I don't try to be. It is a different field. So a lot of people don't know how to stay in their lane, okay? And it's not cool when it comes to the body and people's health. Because when it comes to your body and to health, what you don't know can kill you. What you don't know can make you die sooner than you should. What you don't know can make you, sick. It's like, yeah, we're all going to die one day. But don't you want to live with a full functional body while you're here? Do you want to live 30, 40 years of your life in chronic pain, or your body's not functioning properly, or you can't do this and you can't do that and this hurts and that hurts? No. So my approach to fitness and to nutrition is about function and longevity. Bodybuilding, which is not my background. My background is more working with athletes. And even though most of my clients are regular people, I still have that same approach, which is strengthening your body, correcting imbalances, and doing things that's going to help you function better. Like in real life, you might have to pick up a heavy suitcase on the plane and put it up. Or you're moving, you have to pick up heavy boxes, or you have to go outside and shovel the snow, or, whatever, carry something heavy. You want to be able to function in real life. A dog starts chasing you, now you got to be out and jump on top of this bus real quick. You need to have strength for that. You never know when you might have to pull yourself up to save your life. That's the one thing about pole. I have to see the purpose and stuff. And so I'm like, okay, with pole dance, I've been able to now I can pull my own body weight up. You never know when one day you might be hanging for your life and you need to be able to pull yourself up to save your life. And you need that skill and that strength. But when we look at bodybuilders work out for a look. I call them posers, right? They just want to work out and they flex. But bodybuilders have no agility. They don't have good balance. They can't run fast. They have no endurance. And they're not really that strong. They're moderately strong. The people who are really strong are the Olympic weightlifters, or the people that do the strongman competitions. Look at the strongman competitions. The men who are, they're usually husky, and they're carrying heavy-ass shit across a field. Or you look at the Olympic weightlifters, which I am a USA Olympic weightlifting coach. Olympic weightlifting is not powerlifting, and it's not bodybuilding. Olympic weightlifting is when you look at the Olympics and you see the cleans, the jerks, the snatches, where people, they have 400 pounds on the ground and they yank it up and throw it above their head and they land into a squat. You can look it up, Olympic weightlifting. I am an Olympic weightlifting coach. In order to even become certified as an Olympic weightlifting coach, and you are like grilled on your technique. Your technique has to be perfect in squats, overhead squats, lunges, deadlifts. Okay, absolutely perfect. And your program design, because the sport of Olympic weightlifting, which is actually a sport, it has the lowest injury rate of all sports. And you have people throwing 300-400 pounds above their head, but they don't get injured nearly as much as other athletes. And it's because the way it's taught, you have to perfect each phase of the lift before you put it together. Okay. And so it's like, and those people are really strong. Bodybuilders usually can't do that, because it takes flexibility to land down into a squat like that with 300 pounds above your head. Okay, it takes a lot of strength, power, and these lifts are also done by sprinters, by football players, or any athletes that need explosiveness. Same thing with plyometrics. You should not be doing plyometrics, which is when you're jumping. Like you're jumping on top of a bench, or doing plyometrics. You need to be able to squat 1 to 1.5 times your body weight. If you cannot squat your body weight, then you are not strong enough to be doing plyometrics. I have YouTube videos about this on my page, The Body Scientist 81. If you're doing plyometrics and you have not built up that strength, you can seriously injure your knees, okay? Because muscles are shock absorbers, and they absorb the shock from our joints. And I see this, I could take a pole class, I could take dance class. I see people in the fitness industry, it could be pole instructors, dance instructors, constantly doing things that are bad. Like, you never want to stretch cold muscles. You never, ever, ever, ever want to just come somewhere and start stretching. You need to be very warm before you stretch. And you do not want to stretch before you strength train or do something strength and power based. That can increase your injury rate and it decreases your strength. So you shouldn't do that. But not enough. It's like everybody wants to be an instructor. People don't read research. People don't spend the time studying. There's no regulation. And so it's really frustrating. Like, sometimes I wish I had gone a different route, but this is what I do. But I have a degree in exercise and sports science. So exercise science is different than sports science, but they're related. Working in the fitness industry and exercise is different than when you're working with athletes who have to improve their performance. Okay. I'm qualified in both. I can work with it as someone that needs to increase their 40-yard dash, someone who needs to come back from a knee injury, and I can also work with someone who is heavily diabetic, has hypertension, has cancer. I've had clients with all kinds of backgrounds, and I can do both. I'm well versed in both. Most personal trainers can't do that. Okay, they can't. They get someone who's too jacked up, they don't know what to do, or they do things that end up hurting the person. So I take what I do very seriously, and it just is really frustrating, and I'd like to warn the public about this. Be careful with who you're listening to when it comes to fitness and nutrition. I like to educate people and give them things to look at, factual things to look at. So on my other Instagram page, the_body_scientist, I post books. Check out all the books that I post. I post factual stuff. And then on my YouTube channel, The Body Scientist 81, and you can never forget the 81 because I was born 1981. Team 1981 with Beyonce and Megan Good and Serena Williams. So The Body Scientist 81, I have lots of videos where I speak about this. Plyometrics, about how to find a good trainer, all those things. And so I highly recommend that you look at them. And I'm always available to train clients in New York and Chicago and DC, and also other cities that I go to when I'm traveling, and from a distance. So if you're ever interested in working with me with fitness, with nutrition, I can work with you from a distance. And so you can email me at thebodyscientist81@gmail.com. So I hope this talk was helpful. I have to run to the post office now to ship some yoni eggs to my girls. Okay, so have a great day, and I hope you found this video to be helpful. Make sure you follow my other IG page and my YouTube page. Bye, people.